Why, hello there, and welcome to Mission 4, Lesson 1. We are on to Mission 4, A New Frontier. All right, this is exciting. All right, Mission 4, we're going to be dealing with some geometry aspects, looking at shapes and lines and rays and angles and all that jazz. So let's get it started with Lesson 1, where our student objective is to identify and draw points, lines, line segments, rays, and angles, and recognize them in various contexts and familiar figures. Okay, so what this means is we need to be able to identify what a point is, what a line is, what a line segment is, what a ray is, and what an angle is today. So let's take a look at those, and I'll tell you what each one is. Okay, so we have points, we have segments, we have rays, we have lines, and angles. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the different things for you, and you just need to know what these things are. Okay, so we're going to Mr. Morse's virtual classroom here. A point is just an endpoint where a line starts or stops. Okay, so a point is a starting or stopping point for a line. So it goes to a point. Okay, and well, what does that mean, like in context of the other things? Well, let's take a look. Okay, this next thing, so a point is just a dot. A point is just a dark dot here. A segment, okay, a segment is the second one. Notice what is on each end of this line segment. It's two endpoints, okay, and it has a line between them. A line segment is, we're gonna type this here. A line segment is a line with two endpoints. Line with two endpoints. Okay, that is a line segment. So if there's a start and a stop, there's a line in between. That is a line segment. A ray is a little different. A ray, not like the name Ray, and not from Star Wars Ray. A ray, in this context, is a line with one endpoint, with one point, and goes on forever in one direction. Okay? And we know it's that because it has an arrow on each end. Okay? So, again, a ray is a line with one point here, this one endpoint, and it goes on forever in one direction. And we know it goes on forever in one direction because it has an arrow. That arrow tells us that the line keeps going. Okay? So a ray has one endpoint and then goes off forever in the other end. So it has a point on one end, an arrow on the other end. A line goes off forever in both directions. And we know that because there's an arrow on each side. Again, those arrows mean that it keeps going. We have to use our imagination. That line keeps going forever. Okay, so a line itself, just a regular line, goes on forever in both directions. There's no endpoints to it. It just keeps going and going. So if we're going to imagine this line would keep going this way, going forever this way. It goes on forever in both directions. Okay? It goes on forever in both directions. So the difference, again, if we're looking at lines here, so a line segment has two endpoints, endpoint. A ray has one endpoint and one arrow, meaning it has a starting point, but then goes on forever in another direction, in one of the directions. And a regular line goes on forever in both directions. It has an arrow on both sides. And then our final thing is an angle. We need to know what an angle is. An angle is what happens when two rays meet. When two rays meet, they form an angle. And we're going to be exploring that later in this mission as well. So an angle is where two rays meet. So again, this is a ray, endpoint, arrow on the other side. So you notice there's a ray there, and it meets with ray 2, and together they form this angle. Right? And that's what an angle is, the meeting of two rays. You really just need to get this, understand what each one is, and memorize what each one is. So you need to know what a point is, what a segment is, what a ray is, what a line is, and what an angle is. Okay, and you just kind of have to memorize the difference between them. And so that's what you're going to be working on throughout this particular lesson, and identifying the difference between these 5 different things. All right, good luck to you, and I wish you